Hello and welcome to I Hate Cold Calls. My name is Levi Thomas. I hate card games. Welcome into the 6th edition of our modern meme series. Today we will be playing a deck named after the meme Goatse. So Chef, what you have in front of you is basically a modern white devotion deck, running Springjack Shepherd as sort of our Master of Waves type of goat creator. The idea is we're going to make a lot of these goat tokens, and then we're going to buff them with Honor of the Pure and Leyline of the Meek. These Leyline of the Meeks used to be mirror entities, but I'm going to try the full-on devotion shell as opposed to that. The rest of the deck is just built around building up devotion and finding the shepherds, as well as our Nykthoses to help us just kind of pump out extra mana. So if I had to predict our matchups, I would say that we want to run into aggro decks, maybe not infect, but like Burn and Zoo would be probably pretty decent for us. We have a lot of life gain in this deck. Things we don't want to run into necessarily, better combos. Things like Ad Nauseam. I don't think we have any way to interact with Ad Nauseam at all, except for ley lines. Oh, I forgot to mention that just for flavor, I have added one Oblivion Ring. Because you know why. So best case scenario, the link that we click takes us to where we want to go. Worst case scenario, it takes us to goatse.cx. So anyways, let's get to the games. Okay, so our opponent has made the most confusing play in the history of Magic. He has gone Foundry and a Clifftop Retreat into Manamorphose Double White Leonin Skyhunter. So not sure what that means. Our opponent's also playing like the original Ravnica Sacred Foundries. Don't know if that means anything. Basically, I'm pathing this in response to the Knight, because if he gets the land, then the Knight doesn't get any value when he comes in, and if he doesn't get the land, then it puts him one land behind, and we basically just Sword Star Leonin. Okay, so our opponent's on white-red Knights. So I really need to wash my car, like it's pretty much just has a thin layer of dirt and bird shit on it, and it's like 100 degrees here, so I feel like the dirt and bird shit is helping me out. My car is like the giving tree of cars. It's just slowly falling apart, but it's giving me everything it's got. One day I'm going to be buried in a casket made from its metal. Did anyone else get the feeling when they were reading The Giving Tree that, like, the kid was fucking the tree, right? Like, I'm not the only one who got that out of the book, right? That relationship was far too intimate. It's a tree. Our opponent is really trying to deny us this extra land off the Wayfarer. He didn't play a land just then, and then I just path to exiled his Student of Warfare, and he didn't play a land off of it. Our opponent is like a Holocaust denier, except with value instead of the Holocaust. I feel like to dogs, music must just sound like recorded barking. Looks like we're gonna get the goat kill here, and our opponent misblocked. One thing I do appreciate about the Midwest is that they have a lot of rodeos. I'm not like the biggest fan of, watching people actually ride bulls, but I really do enjoy watching monkeys ride dogs. That opening show it doesn't get much better than that. I just leave after that happens. Like the little spider monkeys dressed up like a cowboy, and you know for a fact that it didn't want to be dressed like a cowboy. And there's someone backstage with like a bunch of monkey bites on their hands because they were the one that got assigned. They drew the short straw. And our opponent scoops to the goats. Temple of Triumph means that they're probably on Jeskai, if I had to guess. Remind, our opponent is on red-white land destruction with Nahiri, so I wasn't 100% wrong. Okay, so we got Blood Moon locked out, and I watched the documentary Going Clear about the Church of Scientology. Church in as many air quotes as I could possibly think of. And I was watching and I was like, you know what, I should probably start a church. Our one tenet is that you're not a douchebag to everybody else. That's it. Our other tenet being that you don't fucking torture people in a trailer park. We've drawn over half of our lands, and we're only at card 42 in our deck. Okay, make that 13 of 22. And our opponent just Emrakuls, and that'll be all. So we're back with the deck. Did pretty much what I expected. It beat an aggro deck, and then it lost to a control deck. So no surprises here. As for any changes I would make to the deck, I don't know, I'd probably move the sideboard around. I didn't even think about putting these Grand Abolishers in, but then again, we never played blue. The line of the Meek seemed pretty much just better than the mirror entity. I'd actually just take out this Oblivion Ring. While it does add flavor to the deck, it is a slot that could be used on a 4th ley line of the Meek. Also makes our sideboarding easier when everything's in 2 and 4 ofs. The first match against Aggro, we just kind of beat them by having a lot more blockers than they had attackers. And against Boros Nahiri Land Destruction, We actually just lost that second game by, ironically, having too many lands. It's more ironic than one of those blinking bike safety reflectors causing a driver to have a seizure and run into you on your bike. Tune in next week for the last edition of Modern Memes, after which I plan on doing a small Hearthstone series. It definitely won't be 7 weeks long, but it's going to be a little bit different from me just showcasing a deck. I'm going to do some new stuff, kind of. New Stuff Kind of is actually a very good band name. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hate card games.